Look in your closet. That t-shirt with the bold, vibrant graphic from your favorite band? The hoodie with the university logo that hasn't faded after 100 washes? That tote bag with a quirky, single-color design that feels like it's part of the fabric? Chances are you're looking at a masterpiece of screen printing. It's a printing method that's part art, part science, and part pure, hands-on magic. It's responsible for some of the most iconic designs in fashion and pop culture. But how does a simple mesh screen and a squeegee create such durable, legendary graphics? It seems so simple, yet the process is fascinatingly clever. Today, we're pulling back the curtain and revealing the secrets behind the world's most popular t-shirts. But before any ink ever touches a shirt, the real magic has to happen. It involves a dark room, a special kind of goo, and the power of light itself. At its heart, screen printing is a very sophisticated form of stenciling. Imagine you have a window screen. If you block some of the holes with tape and then spray paint over it, the paint will only pass through the open holes, creating a pattern. That's the basic principle of screen printing, just taken to a whole new level of precision. The screen is a fine mesh, usually made of polyester, stretched incredibly tight over a wood or aluminum frame. The stencil is what blocks the mesh, and it's not made of tape or paper. It's created using a clever chemical process. The goal is to create a screen where the mesh is blocked everywhere except for the area of your design. The process starts with your design, which is printed in solid, opaque black onto a clear film, like a transparency. This is your positive. Next, you take a blank screen and in a dark room, you coat it with a thin, even layer of the liquid emulsion. This green or blue goo is sensitive to UV light. The screen is then left to dry completely in the dark. Once it's dry, the real magic begins. The transparent film with your black design is placed on top of the coated screen. The whole thing is then put into an exposure unit, which blasts it with an extremely bright UV light for a specific amount of time. Here's what happens. The intense light instantly hardens the emulsion everywhere it touches the screen. But the solid black area of your design blocks the light completely. In that one spot, the emulsion underneath remains soft and water-soluble. The screen is then taken to a washout booth and sprayed with water. The hardened emulsion stays put, but the soft, unexposed emulsion where your design was simply melts away, revealing an open, clean stencil of your image in the mesh. It's an incredible aha moment. With the stencil created, it's finally time to print. The screen is mounted on a printing press and carefully aligned above a blank t-shirt. A thick line of screen printing ink, which has the consistency of a thick paste, is poured along the top edge of the screen. Then comes the most satisfying part of the whole process. The printer takes a tool called a squeegee, a firm rubber blade in a handle, and with a smooth, firm motion, pulls the ink down across the entire screen. This single action does two things. It floods the open mesh of the stencil with ink, and then it presses that ink through the mesh and onto the shirt below. The screen is carefully lifted, and what's left behind is a perfect, crisp, and beautifully vibrant print of the design. For designs with multiple colors, this entire process, from creating the stencil to pulling the print, is repeated for each individual color, with a different screen for each one. You've got a beautiful print, but you're not done yet. Right now, the ink is just wet paste sitting on the fabric. If you were to wash it, it would come right off. The final critical step is called curing. The printed t-shirt is sent through a large conveyor dryer, which heats the ink to a very high temperature, typically over 320 degrees Fahrenheit or 160 degrees Celsius. This heat chemically cures the ink, bonding it permanently with the fibers of the fabric. This is the secret to screen printing's legendary durability. Once cured, that print is not going anywhere. It can be stretched, washed, and worn for years without cracking or fading. So, screen printing creates these incredible, durable prints. Why wouldn't you use it for everything? It reigns supreme for a few key reasons. It is incredibly cost-effective for large batches. The setup is complex, but once a screen is made, you can print hundreds or thousands of shirts very quickly. The inks are also very opaque and vibrant, which means you can print bright colors on dark-colored garments with amazing results. However, its main weakness is that complex setup. Because you need a separate screen for every single color, it becomes very expensive and time-consuming for small orders with lots of colors. It's also not ideal for printing photorealistic images with subtle gradients and millions of colors. Other methods like DTG, direct-to-garment, printing are better for that. So the next time you pull on your favorite graphic tee, take a moment to appreciate the journey it took. It's not just a design, it's a testament to a timeless craft, a perfect blend of art and science brought to life with a screen, a squeegee, and a little bit of magic.